Inside voices. Here we go!
You make it pretty, Sam cleans it up.
Mysterious doors are the funnest sorts of doors.
New area discovered. Preparing to sanitize.
Hi there, hi.
Rightio.
How's things?
Alright. Yourself?
Cool. Fine, thanks.
Good, good.
Elections so far this week.
Not an actual huge amount of noteworthy stuff this week.
Have you read Jerry's new blog post?
Yeah. Interesting.
Looks like they got a backup somewheres. Maybe a little fat
I
bird.
can imagine some censorship proposal are going to be in the back of the manifestos.
Yeah, possibly.
How the cat, by the way.
Sorry, my headphones cut out there for a bit. Was that something about the cat?
How's he doing?
He's doing alright. Emailed the vet, so hoping to hear back when we can take him in for another checkup.
Okay, cool.
But he seems to be alright. He's moving around on the paw a bit more now, sitting up properly. So, fingers crossed.
What was that? Did I hear something?
Scoured with prejudice.
Woohoo! Nice work!
What was that?
Cleaning cycle complete.
Do you think Farage has blown any his party's chances?
A lot of people are very angry with him, including people on his own side.
Over here!
I don't think they're ever going to do particularly well, but my concern is that by him standing down, he does increase the Conservatives'
good.
chances.
You're not shooting at me. That's a start. It's been a bit of a day, so I'll get to the point. Yes, I have Crane's research. No, I'm not giving it back. Sorry to disappoint you. I suppose it does not matter. Either Crane sent you, or you are some scavenger come to rob me in my moment of weakness. Let's make a deal. I'd like to go on living. You'd probably like to make some money. Help me get out of here, and I will pay you for your trouble. Same reason you are, more than likely. I imagine we picked up the same tip. Secret research facility, abandoned town, minimal security. No, but it is a secret. Well hidden. Off the map. Any place worth hiding is worth raiding. Granted, diet toothpaste is not exactly what comes to mind when I imagine secret research and underground labs. Diet toothpaste. Can you imagine a more pernicious example of corporate materialism? I do not know what is worse. Working here, or dying here. What matters is that I have been lied to. I was led to believe this was a high-priority corporate facility hiding valuable research. This job was not supposed to end with me stuck in some wretched lab smelling like rats. So I would be very much obliged if you gave me a break. You mean other than the satisfaction of doing me a good turn? Trust me, I'll make it worth your while. The first thing I need is a key card to unlock my door. Then I'd need you to clear me a path out of here. There are 2 ways out. The quickest is through the front door, but Cleo security's bottled up in there. If you don't want to shoot them, I suppose you could talk to them. The other way out is through the loading bay, but you'd have to clear out the rafts for me. Then I could just slip out the back, sight unseen. Give me a little credit. We are not bandits. We do not steal research. We liberate it. So a few scientists were caught in the crossfire. I will not be accountable for every idiot who wanders in front of my gun. You misreckon me. My conscience is what keeps me from throwing in with these corporate parasites. I would rather die than spend my life in a lab coat researching diet toothpaste. It is my one bargaining chip. If you want this research, you will help me out of this mess. You might be the first stroke of luck I've had all day. Thank you. I'm in your debt. Take your time. I am, to my chagrin, not going anywhere.
Unit is clean, mean, and ready to kill germs. Detected!
So I watched your session of actual monsters.
Cool.
Pretty cool game.
We had fun, despite a distinct lack of prep, but that's kind of what it's designed for, so...
You reckon it's normal in a lab like this to just leave weapons all over? Or is it just whoever works here?
I'd say you'd have done a poor job on the game if you didn't have fun.
There's one measure.
At the very least, one should find the games they make fun.
Yeah, that's kind of my guide. Is it something I'd want to play?
I enjoy how needing to satiate always hangs over the players' heads.
Yeah, just keep things moving.
So apart from Nightbreed, what else colored the game design?
Reacting to the way everything's become so safe and tame and anodyne. A whole bunch of other monster books and films and things. It's just really a desire to do something that would be different to the current kind of mood, I guess.
I feel like I should buy a box of them and slip them into every local tabletop group's library.
Well, don't let me stop you. I guess the main thing was just wanting something that wasn't safe. That encouraged people to explore different ways of playing, different ideas. It sounds a bit more reactionary than it was, but sure are a lot of dead people in this place.
I think you could jimmy that one proper, Captain. Doesn't look too tough.
What you think about the DOS on Labor's site, Russia LOL. I know what you mean. I recently got a bug up my nose from someone saying don't GM a D&D game with evil PCs.
Yeah, it just makes you want to do it all the more. The interference in UK elections. I mean, Boris Johnson's sitting on a report that does implicate at least Russian oligarchs, if not Russia the country, in various electoral issues. There were problems around the referendum. This is all known. You know, they've tried to kill people here, so don't think it's that far-fetched. But that they were traced to Russia and Brazil doesn't mean a great deal when you can route hacks through just about anything.
I've done it before. It was brilliant because the opening like was me saying, First Order how to kill Superman. I wonder how much Corbin understands about tech.
Probably very little, but I'm sure the activists and so on do know more about it. It's unlike the referendum, an election is binding, so if we do find shenanigans and so on, it can actually be more successfully challenged in the courts. So I guess we'll see. Just wish Labour would stop being so arrogant at the moment.
I rolled up a level 20 hero for the party to see and I said your job was to beg, borrow and steal your way into killing this hero.
You do need a solid hook for an evil party. Yeah, roaming the earth do-gooding doesn't really work for evil.
I would ask what was on your mind, but the answer is obviously me. Ask away. I have got nothing but time. Sell it, of course. I don't have any use for the scribblings of idiotic scientists, but whoever gave me this tip obviously does. Assuming I make it out of this place alive. And with my ship out of commission, I'll have to leave on foot and hope my luck changes. One problem at a time, I suppose. I have been asking myself the same question. Our tactics were sound, but no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. We were acting on a good tip, but the tip never mentioned the Rapts. When we hit the lab, those Rapts got loose.
But just to hear don't do the thing because it's hard and not how everyone else does it annoys me to no end.
Yeah. like say I just want to do it more when people tell you you can't.
No one asks why anymore. The establishment tells us to live here, work there, eat that, drink this. All our choices are made for us, so we forget we ever had a choice. I am doing this because I can.
Do you,
Because it
Warren,
thrills
will
me.
get anywhere in the US
Because I
elections?
take a deep and profound pleasure from stabbing at the heart of corporate power, no matter how shallow they
Dunno.
want.
She's a bit more moderate than Bernie. She might, but I don't think she's got the stomach to battle Trump, really.
Biohazardous waste detected.
Bot dog.
Yes, bad reptilian dog thing. Bad.
didn't even ask if we know the gatekeeper. Did you watch the previous elections TV debates, Grim?
No, I don't. I'd only watch the ones later on. I don't generally watch the earlier ones.
I blew an American friend's mind when I said in Australia 8 weeks is a long election campaign.
Yeah, they never seem to stop really in the States, do they?
I think they spend 2 years a cycle.
Seems like it. Rather unwieldy.
I would ask what was on your mind.
Dust accumulation analysis. 2.5 years.
The Electoral College has the main say, right?
I think it's one of those weird, outdated technicalities things.
Flawlessly finished.
I wish the parties here would change the voting system.
Yeah, same.
The collages to balance the numbers, otherwise all elections would be decided by California, New York and one or two others in the other.
Okay, but that's where the most of the people live, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, that's democracy. Flamethrower. Or at least it's democracy where, you know, it's only one result, a president. The representation in the other cases goes out with the other cases.
Finally.
I don't think it really applies anymore. At least so far as presidential elections go.
I've never been so pleased at the sight of an open door. Please tell me you've cleared a way out of here. I would ask what was on your mind.
I am not sure how I feel about it.
Seems to screw things up in the same way that first past the post system screws things up here. Makes things unrepresentative.
Like I see value in trying to make each state equally represented.
That's what senators and congressmen are for, though, isn't it? And what about each individual person's vote? See, that's where I'm at. Ow. Stupid landmines.
Maybe, but I don't know, to be honest. I thought they kept the job for life, got fat and did very little.
Turncoat. We saw everything. You must think me a fool. I was watching on the security cameras. You got downright friendly with the outlaw leader. I reckon we got nothing to say to each other. You best back yourself out of here. Nice and slow. You got 1 minute. Starting now. You convinced her to let us leave in peace. Listing the ills we've been done ain't exactly putting me in a mind to compromise. I gotta believe that all we done will mean something to the company, to Doc Crane. That effort will make up for mistakes. I let them walk. Doc Crane will be so far up my ass, everything will smell of flop sweat. I reckon I don't see any better solution. Fine, damn it. We'll pull out. Here, my key card. It'll get you access to the whole place. Full stakes, people. We're heading back to town.
System performing an
Dirt! Alert! Dirt! Alert!
Thought you were malfunctioning.
Good news, customer. All germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
But I got better.
Nice.
Dope.
You picked the wrong damn day.
I would ask what was on your mind, but the answer is obviously me. So you have. I am much obliged. And now, if you do not mind, I have had quite enough of this wretched place. Oh, really? And why, pray tell, would I do a thing like that? Your point is well taken. I would rather not spend the rest of my days looking over my shoulder for the shadow of my headhunter. Here, take the damned research. Tell Crane I hope he chokes on it.
Good evening, hope all is well.
Evening.
Good. I never trust a freelancer who works for free. Orphans. Is that what you are calling yourself now? Here. Let it never be said that I do not reward good work.
Entering quiet mode.
What is Sam's acid spray like as a weapon?
Seems to be pretty good.
Oh, look at how big she is. Wow. We're not going in there, are we?
Caution!
Damn it. Oops.
That's the last of them.
Oh well. Can't win them all.
don't shoot, I won't shoot. Deal? Hey there. You the fella Cass called about? That I am. Got left out here to watch for reinforcements. Name's Lillian. Hope you're having a better time than us. Definitely got something large and uncomfortably shaped up her nethers. Yammering on about rights and privileges and what all. I'm like, lady, just sing out when you want something shot. Leastways, her pamphlets make good kindling. I've had better. Lost some things in a dust-up. But I didn't get eaten like some of our crew. Got that going for me. My damn cigarettes, for one thing. I was near the Raptidon pen when they got loose. Had to set a few to rights. When I got to checking if all my parts were still attached, I realized I'd dropped my cigarette case. When I turned about, I seen two fine gunheads being snacked on by lizards. No cigarette case is worth my life, no matter how badly I need a smoke. This was a Spacer's Choice commemorative case. Some promo for Founding Day they did back in, I forget the year. Worth decent bits to collectors.
Wouldn't hurt to do her a nice turn, would it, Captain?
An outdoor Raptidon pen yonder, past the main entrance. Law only knows why they're breeding the damn things. Well, you'd sure as hell have earned it, wouldn't you? I'd be obliged. Just don't lose any parts trying.
Mutant purified.
A lot of bandits around here.
Everybody okay? Great.
Does the term silent majority have any illegitimacy?
The illegitimacy of it is people assuming that the people who are silent are on their side.
Piers Morgan, he said he believes the rise of leaders like Boris Johnson and Donald Trump is a complete reaction to this PC culture we're in.
To an extent, I think that's true. But then the right is no better, just in a different way.
What's left there that's worth dying for?
That no-account fool Porter and his crew are even more worthless than I could have imagined. They've abandoned their posts. This is madness. My research? Please tell me you've recovered it. That's... You can't possibly understand the enormity of what you've done for me. Did you find my colleague, Jameson? That is tragic news. I never did right by him. Only cared about how he helped or hurt my research. And now I'll have to live with that.
Yeah. My PC culture is better than yours.
Yeah. It's a shame, really. You'd have hoped they'd have learned something from that. Why am I getting text from Royal Mail? Some manner of package.
A delivery guy left next door's parcel on our doorstep,
Something has cleared customs. I don't know what it was.
In the rain.
Tends to be the kind of shit they do.
Another police visit, LOL.
That was so stupid. Right, be right back a sec, gotta take my meds.
required.
Did you hear Count Dankula's left Yukop?
Yeah. I think it was a bad move on their part getting involved with it in the first place.
Neutralized.
Yukop still going.
Barely. Internal struggles, which is pointless because it's over. Farrar stole their thunder, and now he's screwed the pooch with the Brexit Party as well. Because it's all about him, and always was.
The great leader.
Time to take out the trap. Sanitation and maintenance job fulfilled.
Do you follow Sargon Grim? Do you remember the docudrama called Yukop the First 100 Days?
I don't remember that. I used to follow Sargon. He moved too far right for me to keep listening to him, and he's just so utterly wrong on Brexit that it was getting too aggravating.
Seems to be a lot election candidates being dropped.
Yeah, I just wish Labour would get on board with it.
It was a what-if type show in which they'd won the general election.
Bit far-fetched.
Do you think the Brexit Party will have any other policies?
Don't know, it remains to be seen what they're gonna come out with, doesn't it? I mean, they're gonna have to put out a manifesto of some description.
It was told from the point of view of an Asian female MP. As Farage has tolerated and views, I'm guessing far-rightish.
Yeah, well, yeah. Most likely. Almost entirely, in fact.
Do you think the EU should be reformed in any significant way?
Oh yeah, it needs reform. You can't really do that from outside.
Why wasn't that being pushed by any side of the argument?
Remaining reform was an argument, but it was a minor one. I think it's because conventional wisdom is that if you concede anything, you lose, basically.
That was made for the 50th anniversary of the
So by admitting that it wasn't perfect, you would
got
weaken
back
your
from school.
position.
Dad set candles on our doorstep.
Avoid contact with sanitization materials upon risk of blindness, paralysis, and/or death.
There's one.
Seriously, don't get yourself killed. It's a nice cigarette case, but it's still just a cigarette case.
What do you think of Labour's Brexit position, if they have one LOL? Which aspects of the EU
pointless.
would need reformed?
It needs even more democratization, I think.
You're shitting me.
A lot of it's just in the way that it operates and publicizes what it does. People need to know. You know, that's been its big mistake, I think. It's just letting people slag it off without talking about all the good stuff that it does.
You ain't so bad. Here's something for the trouble.
Callum MacLeod make the EU a democratic institution would be a good start, instead of a technocratic dictatorship.
It isn't a technocratic dictatorship, and it is democratic. You may recall the EU elections we had recently. And technocracy means rule by the skilled, so if only politics was that. Rule by experts would be a good thing indeed.
How can be a democratic when Parliament has no legislative mandate?
Because there are elections, and because it's democratically accountable in a number of ways, not just the European Parliament. The Council is the elected members of every government. The Commission's members are chosen by the elected heads of each government, and the Commission is accountable to the European Parliament. Appointments have to be confirmed by it, and they have oversight over it.
The EU Commission is not elected and is the legislative body.
It's the executive, and it's appointed by elected heads of government. We don't get to directly elect who's on our executive in the UK either. You didn't choose who was Home Secretary, you didn't get any of that, and Lords can serve on the cabinet here and they're not elected either. From other countries, there might be a valid argument to be made there, but certainly not from the UK. And again, they're even more accountable than ours because they're accountable to the European Parliament and have to be confirmed by it. So imagine if the Chancellor and the Home Secretary and the Foreign Secretary all had to be confirmed by Parliament, and you get some idea of the level of accountability here.
Mass quantities of sterilizing agent detected. Area analysis is unexpectedly disgusting.
Could be more democratic, sure. But it is democratic, and it's more democratic than the UK government.
As far as I know, Leyen decided who is in the Commission.
Well, each participatory government chooses their commissioners, and they're elected. And then the commissioners have to be, again, like I said, confirmed by the European Parliament, which also has oversight over them. Also, it's not entirely true to say the European Parliament has no legislative power, because it does. It can amend and overturn legislation. Officially, it can't initiate legislation, but in practice it can and does, because various countries have said that if the Commission can put forward stuff, they will put it forward on their behalf. 2 or 3 countries have said that. But that's one of the things that should change. I think they should formalise that process to make the elected body more powerful in terms of executive power.
Any news? On that thing we spoke about? You know, that thing? Don't keep me in suspense. Did you get my stuff? I mean, not mine. It's for other parties. Buyers. No kidding? You're the best! This is gonna make me so popular. I mean with the people who buy it, not by using it. Because I'm not. Take this. You earned it. If you run into me again after all this is over, maybe I'll have more. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, but WW2 LOL.
What's Mark Francois doing in the chat?
Junker said it does not matter what the parliament does, if they vote against it, they will propose it the next year, if they do vote for I.
So not dissimilar to our system then. Again, these are complaints that might work from outside the UK, but don't work from inside the UK. If governments want to, they can keep bringing back the same legislation over and over and over again. Not necessarily in the same parliament, but... So essentially that's absolutely no different to the way things are here. And then there's vetoes, of course, the various national governments have. But honestly, I wish it was a technocracy. It's just, it isn't. I'd love to see people who actually know what they're talking about running any government at any level. That would be lovely, instead of politicians. Can you imagine doctors in charge of healthcare? Scientists in charge of scientific investment? Man. It'd be nice if even the government paid any attention to the experts it commissions reports from. That would be a start.
The second thing is that the parliament has no budget power, it solely lies upon the EZB.
Well, in our system, you know, it's the executive that controls the budget, not Parliament. But, unlike the UK, the EU Parliament does have some budgetary control. It's the Council, which is the elected heads of the various states, remember, and the European Parliament is what exercises the legislative and budgetary functions. So, it's under the Lisbon Treaty. So it is the Parliament and the Council that decides each year on how they're going to spend the money they've got. So actually that's more democratic than the UK.
I doubt the UK will ever change.
We have in the past, it's just we seem to need to take a beating before we understand that the world's changed. It was Suez before, I guess this is Brexit now. It'd be nice if we could do it without all the pain.
Civil war it is then.
Again?
LOL.
Good news, customer. All germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
So it was Parliament versus the Royalists last time. Maybe it'll be Parliament versus Russian oligarchs this time.
Dirty. Clean up the competition.
I don't know why people just don't make the effort to learn this stuff themselves. I also don't know why the EU doesn't put more effort into teaching people. It's not like any of this information is secret or hidden away.
Because most people don't have enough hours in the day.
Well, you know, if you're making a decision on the future of the whole country, surely you can spare 5 minutes to go on Wikipedia at least.
Voting and being uniformed is a good thing, LOL.
Democracies are supposed to work on the idea of an informed populace. What we have is a disinformed populace, unfortunately.
So then I told him, oh, ha ha ha, that tickles. How odd. No, don't desist. I think I might like it. Further data collection is required for accurate assessment.
Scanning for C2547. Grade rated contaminants.
If you're not political, which most people aren't, then it's difficult to know where to begin. Well, what I just said about the EU is right out of Varoufakis' book, and the weak shall suffer what they must.
Varoufakis was against Brexit.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Forgive me, Captain. I would rather not discuss Alex Hawthorne today. I am feeling discombobulated. Was there another topic on your mind? Captain Hawthorne attached 98.4% of the ship's processes to my computer.
Would Thatcher be anti-Brexit?
Total control.
She was actually fairly pro-Europe, and she had problems with Eurosceptics on her backbenches back then. So, despite me loathing the woman, I think she'd be anti-Brexit. Certainly in the form that it's taken now.
It was basic in the beginning. The information in my memory banks says I am an autonomous digital astrogator, created by, redacted, on the date of, redacted, for the express purpose of, redacted. I have not yet decided if I should attempt to uncover the missing information regarding my birth. I asked once. Alex did not build me, and would not say who did.
Before the 80s, did more people follow politics?
No, I don't really think so.
After Europe by Krastov is also a good read, and Britain will be happy if they get out of it.
No, we won't. We already aren't. It's already caused untold damage. We're so fucked. So utterly fucked if this goes ahead. Still a chance of stopping it for the time being, but unfortunately only a small one. I reckon we're going to end up pretty much back where we are now in the election. Another hung parliament, I should think.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of something.
Britain will be fucked because the EU unleashes everything to make an example of what happens if one leaves the EU.
No, we'll be fucked because we're losing access to an enormous market right next door to us, or at least bumping up the costs tremendously. It'll make us vulnerable to predatory US capitalism. Especially the NHS, which will end up getting flogged off if the Tories stay in power. We've lost the right to live, love and work across all of Europe. It's just, it will narrow everyone's horizons and turn us into a parochial backwater and fuck our economy for up to 50 years. It's nothing to do with the EU being vindictive and everything to do with us being stupid. Honestly, nobody can give a coherent reason to be pro-Brexit that isn't either parochial or woefully misinformed. And I'm pretty much done making excuses for that kind of obdurate stupidity.
Bakono, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought unfortunate.
I already listened to that, don't know why it wasn't grayed out.
By the way, I am not British.
I didn't think you were.
Hey, Captain. I got a thing I want to ask you. It's kind of big. I was thinking about what you said before, after we went to the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. I reckon you're right. I think I'm ready to stop
Where are you
fretting
from?
and fussing and ask Junlei to go steady, straight out. And I'm thinking of doing it here, on the ship. I was kind of hoping you'd offer. The thing is, I can't ask her over like this. I mean, look at me. I'm all covered in engine grease and I ain't showered in nigh on a week. Smell like sweat most days and, well, don't look too close at my fingernails. I was thinking, hoping, we could stop by Groundbreaker for supplies. I mean, only if you're not busy. Or when you're heading through Groundbreaker for something else. You don't gotta change plans on account of me.
I am German,
Anyhow,
ride at
next
the
time we
pulse of
dock
the
in
EU, and
Groundbreaker,
if can
let me
get
know.
away from it,
'Cause
I think
I
do
wanna
it.
come with.
Why would you want to cripple yourself in that way? Where's the upside? What's the plus? In different context in Germany, but still.
What a mess! What a mess!
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Are you far right? Nope, not at all.
Schrodinger's EU. To people on the left, it's some kind of neoliberal, globalist, capitalist conspiracy. To people on the right, it's some kind of internationalist, socialist conspiracy.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following...
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch. Sugar gel flakes and purple berry flavored power nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch.
Have you had a moment to look into that little opportunity I told you about on Roseway? You don't hurry up. Someone will get to snooping around there before you do. What's that? Speak up now. What'd you turn up? Well, that's just swell, sweetheart. Good for you. A shame you didn't visit old Gladys first. That would have fetched a good price. I may have thrown in a batch of my famous sugar cookies just to sweeten the deal. If Auntie Cleo's exporting wraps from Monarch, golly me, someone's going to be in the soup when they get caught. Bless your slippery little fingers. Isn't that just a shame? Prototype schematics go for a fair handful of bits around here.
What's the difference between globalism and internationalism?
Internationalism is a cooperative left-wing approach to international relations, so working together for common benefit. Globalism is all about free markets and getting out of the way, really, which tends to lead to exploitation. The EU is closer to internationalism, but I don't think it's really either. It's just different people see different things to hate in it.
Darnation. It sounded like a gold mine, but maybe that's just my old hopes getting in the way. I suppose it can't be helped. Law bless you for doing the legwork, sweetie. Don't forget your pal Gladys now. You can come visit anytime. I think I got just the thing, my dear. A few years back, Auntie Cleo's put out a home makeover kit, and I snagged a couple for myself. High-grade shampoo and conditioner, scrubby brush, a nice lotion, that sort of thing. I still got 'em, too.
What's the scrubby brush for?
Cleaning around your nails, sweetheart. Gets the engine grease out. Makes your hands soft. Most folk don't got the time. Or bathtubs for such, me included. I'll let you have one on clearance. You want rosish, mock apple and cinnamon, or refurbished ship?
Like grit and grime covered over with cleaner, you mean? Well, that's a smell that means we're really going places.
I'll just wrap that up for you, since it's for a special occasion.
I'll pay for that, ma'am. Thanks for being so helpful.
You're welcome, dear. What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom? Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
So how is the outer world? Is it the fallout we should have gotten?
Yes, I would say so.
If you're here for this week's magazine club meeting, you're a touch late. I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage auction last week. Straight to the point, eh? All right. Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence. Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest you see their derrieres. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after another. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion to dispose of. Knickknacks. Curios. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. But that's more of a passion project.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear? That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
Your regular advertisement for the following story. Crossbow finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance-enhancing stims. A top
Good, you're back. Not that I missed you. I assure you, I am not capable of such emotional capacity. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Mm-hmm. Now arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab. I think I'll initiate. An unscheduled rest cycle.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud.
Nicely done.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since... in fact, I've never had a visitor. Your old hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting.
Obscure body in the SK system. Good. Nice Flash Gordon reference.
Has a 12% risk of catastrophic failure. Quite safe by Halcyon standards. Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%. Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout. Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals. Of course. What's on your mind? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper. Absolutely. Let's talk. No, and I've been trying very hard.
Time to hit the pillow. Thanks for streaming and thanks for
Nice to
you
meet you, Dr.
opinions.
Wells.
We do not
I'm
hit
providing
always
hope.
the same mark, but I appreciate them.
I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know
I
who
should
you
be
are.
looking off
Let's just
soon.
enjoy our possible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy. Oh, fine. As long as you're vouching for their character and they aren't touching things. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a talented scientist after all. Our kind has always been incredibly popular. What's on your mind? Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device. The sissy pigs make excellent test subjects. Also surprisingly nutritious.
Nice hit!
Okay, cool. It's a shrink ray. Right, back to the ship and log out.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial.
Right, not at all.